first is the selection of site. It is always better to start an orchard in a predominantly fruit growing area than in a new locality where few or no orchard exist. This will not only help in sharing experience of local fruit growers but also will add cost for purchasing the plant materials, orchard equipments, transport, marketing, storage of fruits, etc. It would be easier through cooperation with growers. Besides, the site for an orchard should be either as close as to consuming center or market as possible or on a metal road or connected by rail. Over and above, the orchard site should have favorable climatic and soil condition and good source of irrigation. The second important point while planning an orchard is climate. The climate of the site where fruits are to be grown on commercial scale must be considered carefully. Factors like day and night temperature, rainfall frequency, amount and intensity, wind, light, atmospheric humidity, hailstorm, frost occurrence, etc. are very important for selection of fruits to be grown there. Fruits like mango, banana, papaya, pineapple, sapota, ber, breadfruit, cashew, coconut, etc. they thrive well in tropical climate, whereas fruits like guava, grapes, lychee, citrus, date, falsa, pomegranate they thrive well under subtropical condition. Some fruits have low chilling requirements such as peaches, pears and plums, whereas there are few fruit crops which can be grown under temperate conditions only, for example apple, cherries, almond and walnuts. Hence, while planning the orchard, the fruits suitable to the particular site should be kept in mind and planting of fruit species can be done accordingly, taking into consideration the topography also. Third factor is soil. Though most of the fruits may be grown on a wide variety of soil such as clay, sand, sandy loam, clay loam, loam, etc., a loam or sandy loam soil is considered to be the best for most fruits. Shallow soils with rocky substrata, soils with high or low pH, soils having poor drainage and high water table during rainy season should be avoided. The fruit growers must have at least fair knowledge of soil type, its depth, reaction, water table and fertility status before selecting a definite variety of fruit trees to be grown there. The orchard site should have uniform soil with at least 3 to 4 feet topsoil on which the fruit trees will grow. Sandy soil may be suitably utilized for growing cashew nut, coconut, etc. Gravelly red lateritic soils may be preferred for cashew nut, mango, jackfruit, etc. Loamy soil is used for papaya, banana, lychee and sapota. However, the poor fertility of soil can be improved in the course of orchard soil management by green manuring, intercropping, etc. The fourth point is clearing and leveling of land. If the land is already under cultivation, nothing except preliminary preparation is necessary. If uncultivated, it is necessary to put them under deep plowing and leveling. If the selected site is under forest, the existing trees and bushes should be removed by uprooting. The land then should be thoroughly plowed, harrowed and leveled. While preparing the land, the subsoil, which is usually less fertile than the surface soil, should not be disturbed as far as possible. In the hilly areas, terraces should be made along the contours. Fifth point is irrigation sources. An orchard flourishes well when put under irrigation, particularly during the dry months. So, the source of irrigation should be a permanent one, assuring supply of requisite quantity of irrigation water throughout the year. Whatever may be the source of irrigation, a well, a shallow or a deep tube well. It should be sunk well ahead of planting. In high hills where the rainfall and snowfall are adequate and evaporation from the soil is not very high due to prevailing low temperature, a few tanks may be installed for collection of rain or snow water to tide over the critical period of the year. Sixth point is fencing. To protect the trees of the orchard from frequent visits of wild and stray animals and to prevent stealing of fruits and other orchard property, some kind of fence is highly necessary. This may be made by erecting mud walls or high brick walls with tops lined with glass pieces or barbed wire fencing. The first one, though quite effective against big animals, offer very little obstacle to monkeys and thieves. The second one, being permanent and very effective from the security point of view, is preferred. But it involves a large initial expenditure which is beyond the means of ordinary fruit growers. The third one, the barbed wire fencing, which costs moderately, is not only effective against practically all animals and human beings, but it also neither shades or takes away any plant food from it. So, the orchard boundary may be fenced with pillars and barbed wires. The pillars may be of wood, angle iron, stone cement concrete, etc. This fence may be further strengthened by erecting live hedges which will not only help to stop the entry of animals and human beings but also form a thick live wall around the orchard for privacy and help to safeguard the produce which cannot be seen from outside. The live hedge must have few qualities such as it should be quick growing, easy to raise by seed or cutting of vegetative parts, should be a drought resistant plant, should have dense foliage, should preferably be thorny, should stand pruning to develop thick and compact growth. The plants suitable for live hedge are Inga dulcis, Parkinsonia, Prosopis julifera, Carissa carandus, Casuarina equisetifolia, Durenta plumeri, Lawsonia alba, Glyricidia, Bohemia, Polyeltha longifolia, etc. To establish a live hedge, the soil along with the fence is dug 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep at the commencement of the rainy season. After sowing the seeds or planting the cutting along the boundary of the orchard, the plants are allowed to grow. In the course of time, trimming and pruning are done to develop a thick wall and tall hedge as required. Seventh important point is wind breaks. Fruit orchards usually face heavy losses when a strong wind of high velocity passes through the orchard. Damages like uprooting of trees, breaking of the branches, destructing of blooms, dropping of immature fruits, erosion of surface soil, etc. are caused very often by wind. Hence, establishment of a tall growing windbreak is necessary to protect the orchard. The planting of windbreaks should precede that of the fruit trees by at least 2 years, if they are to give effective protection to the orchard. A well-established windbreak reduces the velocity of wind, checks evaporation losses of soil moisture, prevents cold winds and reduces frost damage to a great extent. The efficiency of a windbreak depends upon the height of the tree and their compactness. Ordinarily, it has maximum effectiveness for a distance of about 3 to 4 times as great as its height. The first row of fruit trees should be away from the windbreak row. To prevent the roots of the windbreak trees from interfering with the normal growth of fruit trees, a 3 to 4 feet deep trench should be dug at a distance of 10 feet from the windbreak row. An ideal windbreak should be upright in growth and occupy as little space as possible. It should be tall, mechanically strong, quick growing and sufficiently dense to offer the maximum resistance to the wind. 1 to 2 rows of such trees are planted at a closer spacing, usually 12 to 23 feet apart, from having a tall and close tree wall, which can help to resist the incoming heavy flow of wind. The trees commonly grown as windbreaks are Polyalthea longifolia, Casuarina equisetifolia, Erythrina indica, Eucalyptus globules, Grevillea robusta, Dilbergia siso, Mangifera indica, Bambusa species, etc. The next important point is establishment of buildings. Any building which is to be constructed in the orchard should be planned before planting. An orchard provides a very pleasant site for a dwelling. Other buildings such as implement shed, bullock shed and labor quarters may also be constructed. Last but not the least is the construction of roads, paths, irrigation and drainage channels. Planning of roads, paths, irrigation and drainage channels should be done well in advance. Roads and paths are absolutely necessary for making every portion of the orchard easily approachable and for convenience in operations like manuring, spraying and transportation. The footpath should be made in between the rows of trees without utilizing any additional space of the orchard. Small non-spreading type of avenue trees may be planted beside the road to enhance the beauty of the orchard. The permanent irrigation and drainage channels should be dug in straight lines and without interfering the main road before the actual laying out of the orchard and undertaking the planting work. A detailed plan of the orchard should be drawn showing the boundary, main gate, roads and paths, source of irrigation, drainage and irrigation channels and also the individual plots for the fruit to be grown. This will help to establish the orchard correctly and conveniently.